Today, I want to talk about an Omega that almost nobody mentions, but that says a lot about a very special moment in the brand history. This is not a Speedmaster, it's not a Seamaster, and it's definitely not a popular watch. This is the Omega De Ville, often known by collectors as the Emerald. At first glance, it already feels different, and the more you learn about it, the more interesting it becomes. This watch was produced in the early 1970s, roughly between 1971 and 1973. It belongs to the De Ville family, but it does not follow the usual rules of what a De Ville looks like. At that time, Omega was experimenting heavily with design, especially in the dress watch segment. The idea was not about precision, the idea was about style, form, and creativity. The most important part of this watch is the person behind the design. The Omega De Ville was designed by Andrew Grima. Andrew Grima was not a watch designer. He was one of the most famous jewelry designers of the 20th century. He designed pieces for major luxury houses and even the British royalty. His style was bold, sculptural, and very modern for the time. When Omega worked with him, they were not looking for something safe. They wanted something that looked like jewelry, not like an instrument. This collaboration resulted in a small series of watches that look completely different from anything Omega had made before. The De Ville Emerald is one of those watches. It comes from a design period where Omega allowed creativity to lead the process, and you can really see that freedom is in the final result. The reason collectors call this watch the Emerald becomes obvious the moment you look at the crystal. This is not a flat crystal, it's a facade, just like an emerald cut gemstone. The crystal has multiple angles. When light hits in, the reflection constantly changes. It adds depth to the dial and gives the watch a very strong jewelry feeling. This crystal alone already sets the watch apart from most vintage dress watches. The case design reinforces that feeling. The case is rectangular, with sharp edges and strong geometry. This is pure 1970s design language. On paper, that sounds small, but in the wrist, it feels larger than expected. The shape, the crystal, and the way the case sits all help with that. Some examples are gold-plated, usually with a thick gold layer over steel. Other examples are made in solid 18-karat gold. Both versions are correct and original. The solid gold pieces are rarer and more valuable today. The dial is extremely minimal. There are no numbers, no luminous material, no second hands. You only get the Omega logo at the top and the De Ville name at the bottom, nothing else. The dial colors vary depending on the version. Champagne, grey, black, and even blue exist. There are also very rare examples that were sold by Tiffany, with Tiffany printed on the dial. Those are highly collectibles today. The philosophy behind the dial is clear. It's meant to disappear, so the case and crystal can stand out. Inside the watch, you will usually find an Omega caliber 620 or 625. Both movements are manual wind. Both are slim and reliable. This is important to say clearly. This watch is not automatic. If you ever see it listed as automatic, that is simply a mistake. You need to wind this watch by hand. These movements are well known and easy to service. They are a good match for a dress watch like this. Production of this model only lasted a few years. Omega produced these watches roughly between 1971 and 1973. After that, the design direction changed again. Because of this short production period, these watches are not extremely common. They appear in the market, but not in large numbers. Finding one in good original condition is becoming more difficult. What makes this watch especially interesting today is the value. Despite its design, history, and famous designer, the Omega De Ville is still relatively affordable. Gold-plated examples usually trade around 700 to 1,000 Swiss francs, depending on condition. Solid gold versions are way more expensive. For a watch designed by a legendary jewelry designer with a unique crystal and a short production run, this is still very reasonable. For me, this watch represents a side of Omega that no longer exists. A time when the brand took risks. A time when design was more important than trends. This is not a watch for everyone. It's not a sporty, it's not loud, but if you like vintage design and you enjoy wearing something different, this watch makes a lot of sense. It's a conversation piece, and it's a beautiful reminder of how creative Omega once was. We are still wondering if we should keep it in our collection or sell it. So now I'm curious, would you wear this watch? Or is it too bold for your taste? Let me know in the comments, and if you enjoyed this deep dive into the Forgotten Omega, don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel. I will see you in the next one.